Next, I wanted to bring up Long Island Jiu-Jitsu Network. Long Island Jiu-Jitsu Network they're bringing back big-time events in New York City. You know, I feel like COVID kind of put a halt to all of the cool stuff that was going on for jiu-jitsu in New York for a little bit, you know? And the Long Island Jiu-Jitsu Network guys are kind of like working to bring back some of that jiu-jitsu love in the city. So they're putting on an event called Long Island
City of Champions, pal. New York Knicks.
Yeah, true.
New York go.
Shout out to Knicks.
Isn't it Gregory?
Back in the day, whenever I would play 2K, I would always have my guy get drafted by the Knicks so I could try and rebuild the program. So it sounds like the work I put in whenever I was younger playing 2K's paid off.
The Jalen Brunson simulator?
Yeah. But yeah, so their Harlem Free Fight 3 series is going on August 1st. They've announced some of the matches. I've gotten a little sneak peek at some of the other matches that are to come. I can't say nothing, but listen, this is going to be a good card. This is
live from the World Trade Center.
Yeah, so that's the craziest part. They're doing this live from the World Trade Center. You guys thought the White House UFC was a spectacle? Yeah, right, pal. Jiu-Jitsu's now had an event on a battleship, and up next we got the World Trade Center. So pretty insane there. But
not too far off. We have an event at the White House here. Like,
I mean, honestly,
yeah,
pretty crazy. This is like just like the future of combat sports, is just finding the craziest spectacle of a place to host your event.
That might be a good.
Where would we go next?
Like, where would you like to hold a jiu-jitsu event?
Yeah. Like, should we do one in the Texas State Capitol? Like, should we just do one in the middle? Like, we could get in for free. Anybody can get in. Should we just bring in competitors and cameras and like, it's like you can bring stuff into the Texas State Capitol. It's kind of crazy, right? Like, didn't you shoot a music video there before?
Shot tons of music videos.
Like, you can just like, yeah, you just like pass it through and they just like let you in with all this stuff. Yeah. So in theory, we could just bring like cameras, set them up, and then like either record or maybe potentially stream a jiu-jitsu match from the Texas State Capitol right there. We might have to pull that off. That would be insane.
They might be into it, to be honest. They were into the music video stuff.
Yeah.
What genre of music?
Yeah, Tapper Chat at the Capitol.
Just like folksy rock music, I feel like.
All right, that sounds more or less. That sounds like something they get on board.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so the event is also a fundraiser for Harlem Free Fight Academy, whose mission is to positively impact New York City youth through martial arts. So it's obviously, you know, supporting a good cause there and everything. So definitely really cool. But the matches they've announced so far are Bruno Matias versus Sebastian Rodriguez, Nathan Schwang versus Chaz Canis, and then Liz Huang versus Thais Teixeira. And then actually, I believe they've also
WNO veterans.
Yeah.
No, it's honestly, like this. Bruno versus Sebastian Rodriguez is a great match. I feel like a lot of people, especially from the New York area, know a lot about Sebastian Rodriguez, but Bruno Matias is tough. That's 100%. A super tough dude. Trains with Pedro Mourinho down here in Texas. We've known about Bruno for a long time.
Been on WNO.
Yeah, been on WNO.
Fought Jacob Couch, right?
Got to watch him, you know, train over the years with Pedro and stuff, and those guys down in Gracie Baja in Houston. So super tough match for both of them. I feel like I really like the matchup. They both kind of have similar games, similar body types. It feels like it's a really good match for both those guys.
Yeah, I think honestly that match could be like pretty insane.
Yeah, that one of them could stunt on the other guy for sure, I feel like. But
and then Nathan Schwang versus Chaz Canis, like, to be honest with you, I kind of see this one being similar to Nathan versus like Michael Sains or something. Like, actually, I don't know. Chaz has he's more likely to sit or something or try to bolo, maybe. But
Nathan walking around with more confidence than he's ever walked around with these days. The Cantagallo legend, man. He's out there doing it, and obviously got the silver medal at the World Championships. I think Nathan is on cloud 9. I bet we see a new version of Nathan that we've never seen before. He levels up, as you do when you make it to the IBJJF World Championship finals, and really kind of get that wind of confidence at your back. I think Chaz better be looking out.
I think Nathan...
I don't know a lot about Chaz, but I'm sure he's good.
Chaz is awesome. Yeah, Nathan is the kind of guy who I feel like we see him in some matches, and they're awesome scraps. We see him in some matches, and they are very intellectual, technical, give and take kind of battles. And I feel like Chaz is a showman. Chaz is a guy who operates with like a lot of rhythm and a lot of swagger, and comes to the mat really looking to bring a show and bring a little bit of an audience and put something like this on. So for him to be able to get on one of these big pro shows, I think it makes a lot of sense. I think he belongs on some more of these big pro shows.
Gotcha. I didn't actually recognize him in his photo. He looks a little different to me.
He looks super different in this photo. Yeah, you guys, this
Well,
JT Torres is his main boy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't recognize him from the photos.
Yeah, and always, got the music right before and, dancing and singing along right before he heads out to the mats. I always love watching Chaz as he's getting ready. And then, he had an awesome color belt career, just got his black belt. Might be his black belt debut. I'm not 100% sure about that. But I think Chaz is a guy who is going to get himself into some crazy shit, looking to scrap it around with Natan, especially because this is one of the few super fight opportunities that he's really gotten. I don't know that Chaz has gotten a bigger super fight opportunity than this. So I would love to see him come out and really take advantage of this like the entertainer that I know he aspires to be.
Yeah, the fourth match that I believe is already announced is actually Philippe Silva versus Rajus Dewan. So
that's a sick one too.
Yeah, Rajus versus Philippe Silva is pretty crazy.
Unity's Philippe Silva?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nogi Pan champion.
Versus India's Rajus Dewan.
Yeah. Sweet. Obviously, Rajus has a lot of kind of hype to him, or I think a little bit, since who's number one and some of the things that he's done with, against PJ. And so this is a big step up in competition. We'll see how good Raj is. But from what we hear in the room, he's very good. So.
Yeah, John's super high on this guy. Mm-hmm. John Donaher is super, super high on Raj and his prospects and his how fast he's learning and picking up aptitude. And Raj is a guy who I always like seeing these guys who come from these different countries talk about wanting to uplift their jiu-jitsu that's happening back in their home country. And Raj is definitely a guy who it feels like that, always posting about India and having him be a guy who carries that flag, I think is awesome. And he looks like a really good example of that. I want to see him in this match go long. I want to see him face Philippe Cesar Silva, who's such a tough guy, Nogi Pan champion. And I want to see that match really extend against PJ. He kind of came out, got a quicker tap against Austin Sinos. That was a super quick tap. So he has that good quick catch ability. He's proven that. Now let's see what happens when you face a really tough black belt who's not going to give you that, and this match gets into deeper waters. If he can catch Philippe Silva super quick, by the way, that will be crazy.
Yeah. He's had the element of surprise a little bit on his side, a little bit under the radar, and so this time around he won't have that. But he looks very solid, so I'm excited to see the career of Raj kind of keep continuing as well.